Abusuya Makwaba at about the POG Media. So, Nene, your boy at the right and then send the money, and so Apple at the right Ghana judiciary system. A year and another a year. Mutimi the new chief justice on also the office on also ba bebo na juma e am my Ghana for the past 8 years now man for so can say Ghana judiciary system na kamia ko say some loopholes be and I say to could be the demand and I say judiciary system no and also it me losing the credibility and the update and also the aba if we lawyer sorry ho and I just say odi to ja kwan and nam so Emma a on the client and so it's me petition a year John Dramani Mahama so only a toko no and through and nam a year Afenyo marking or therefore ya a year in Sembia and also Titi and I said a near be and I just say oh yeah a year parliament or NATO no or parliament any Supreme Court no and what before the petition no that was and so the latest update about the far from your marking quite on also use judiciary system no and so Eddie Jiska Eddie Guni bottom I mean no say the incurrent and I said the inform and answer the current chief justice and so the nice former washe say Afenyo marking ne license and also the operate as a lawyer no yen so yentimi NJ and finish abusia me say beje ya boy the ran sema lawyer sorry and so the two join last.
It's not even legal. What was the position? Why was the nominee disputed? Who can dispute that? It's not as if there are two institutions or two individuals or two powers in this country who can appoint a chief justice. There's just one man who can do it. Under what circumstances can he appoint one? He can appoint one when there is a vacancy. Was there a vacancy? Yes, as a matter of fact, there was a vacancy because the person was removed. The fact that you are challenging the removal does not in any way displace the fact, the fact of law that you have been removed. And I'm saying at every point in time, people go to court to challenge a parliamentary election, a presidential election. So we won't swear the person who has been declared in office because somebody is embarking upon a gamble of probably overturning the election one way or the other. At the time that you are challenging it, the law and the fact is that the person is the rightful owner of the office. So at that point, what was the dispute? So it was not only disrespectful, it was not also properly communicating to Ghanaians what the true circumstances and facts were. And so we are dealing with, apart from the fact that they are public officials who must, in communicating with the public, at least present to them what the truth is. You are allowed to do politics. But is that the kind of politics that we want? It led to so many other things on that same day. Apart from the disrespect to the nominee, it even went further to affect another justice, the most senior justice of the day, Justice Puaman, who was the chairman of the committee that recommended that the Chief Justice be removed.
We, the minority, hold the view that the subsequent committee that was set up under the chairmanship of His Lordship, Gabriel Scott Puama, to trial the Chief Justice amounted to a travesty of justice.
Chairman. To some extent, I would blame Justice Puaman. Because as I have said, I think I've said here or somewhere, that his own report is the problem. The minority leader was one of the reasons why I petitioned, or my client petitioned for the removal of the Chief Justice. There was a huge count which mentioned his name and mentioned the acts that formed the basis of our petition. What was this count? We said he had set a precedent, in fact, a record in the court by being the only party or being the only person who within 2 hours was able to get a full panel of the Supreme Court presided over by the erstwhile Chief Justice to give him orders that by the scope of the application before the court, no court of in the world of the common law jurisdiction will give him. Now, in the course of all of those proceedings and after, people who knew the two of them spoke to me and they said, don't you understand? That is his sister. The removed Chief Justice is his sister. When
sister in terms of
Ghana, they come from the same place.
Okay.
1, 2. When her father died, the minority leader hosted her visitors, and people who were there called me. So, in some of if I had attended the next proceedings, the next person against whom I was going to raise that objection was the Chief Justice. I said, all of these arguments we are having back and forth, and you are literally descending into the arena of conflict, is because somebody that you are close to is the plaintiff in this particular matter. Who was the plaintiff? It is Afenyo. 2, there is now information coming out that there are services being rendered in the judicial service which are linked to Afenyo. So
services being rendered?
Yes, certain services. I don't want to give all of those details because I have it. But it shouldn't look personal between me and him that he's rendering those services and getting commercial profits from them, and huge ones. And so at this point in time, when Afenyo is making it look like, okay, there's a national public interest aspect of all of this nomination process, and there's some dispute and all of that, it has nothing to do with a minority position. He sold it out to his colleagues to believe that, well, we all have to take a collective position against this, but it is a personal interest.
So in other words, you say he roped in the party, but the agenda is nothing to do with the party as a whole?
If you ask me, yes. And I'm saying that when we petitioned, there was every evidence to show that insofar as that aspect of our petition against Afenyo was concerned, there ought to have been a definite finding on it. 1, we said there was no basis for the speedy fixing of that matter for hearing. Her response, and that is documented, is that no, there was a basis. And her basis was that, look, I had already issued a directive to the effect that election matters should be expeditiously dealt with. Question, was this an election matter? No. It was about cross-carpeting. So, factually, that's not correct. Legally, it's not correct. 2, she attached that her directive, and this is a lawyer and the Chief Justice. When she attached the directive was dated December 2024. This case took place in October 2024. So as at that time, there was no directive. So it was clear that this was a person who was doing a personal favor. There was no rule of law. It did not even accord, there was no practice direction according to her. Her principles on the basis of which she fixed it, the circumstances didn't exist. And she plainly lied in her response. Why was that not a basis for her removal? That the person who represents justice in this country can literally look at us, lie on the face of her own paper, only because she wants to justify a position she's taking to favor a particular individual. And that individual now wants us to believe that, oh yes, there are real and genuine reasons why we shouldn't be having a vetting. And because of who we are, we haven't checked. That look, seriously speaking, we don't see any dispute here. And so the facts that we have show that you have an interest in her being there. And so he's crying louder than every other person because he has an interest in the woman being there. If we interrogated all of the counts upon which we petitioned the president for her removal, you see that they would have sustained.
Why were those grounds left out?
Yes, I'm giving you one of the examples. That in Afenyo's case, the committee ought to have found, and that's why I'm now saying I blame Justice Puaman. If he had made those findings, he wouldn't be sitting down there saying, oh, and then even Justice Puaman did this, he's a beneficiary and all of that. Justice Puaman is too much of a legal luminary to understand that the position of Chief Justice is not his automatically. And so was even Justice Bafuboni. That upon her removal, there was no contract, no law, which said that they will be the next. So why will they be doing that only because they intend to benefit? When you sell that out to the public, you are not being honest. Because We have just seen in recent times that the most senior justices have been ignored and other people appointed. Why is it that these people who have been there and have seen themselves being ignored in favor of others would believe that removal of the Chief Justice would be to their benefit? It clearly doesn't make sense. But when they sell it out there, it goes out and resonates well with certain people, because there's the sense that, oh, some people were interested, they just wanted, it's political and all of that. For among Kulendi, all those existing justices, none of them has a guarantee. In fact, the Chief Justice doesn't have to be a justice of the Supreme Court. He can be taken from anywhere at the bar. There's no requirement that the next Chief Justice to be appointed, or even the one that was just appointed, ought to have been a member of that court, of the Supreme Court. No. In fact, they could have taken the person from the Circuit Court or the District Court and appointed the person Chief Justice. So why were they doing this to favor a government when they had no contract with the president that, well, if you remove her, I'll give it to you? And if that was the case, Puamang did it. Puamang was the chairman of the committee that removed her. And I'm saying that the removal actually took place because there were laymen who understood this thing in simple context, that how can a Chief Justice be doing all of these things? If it were left to us lawyers alone, all of these arguments that don't even add up or make sense to the ordinary man would have.
So yes. The issue that the thing was in certain courts, ECOWAS court.
We and some lawyer. Sorry, and so editor edify your token. And a choir, ye first will ever see a penny form video mine, so or media mine any a ma, musho mine to tea, and a choir fast over more. On us who say a yes, I quite know. When you quite papa, and say no so far so, and I say I come here, yes, a panel for no ban be the agronia day. I was also to us already, and some no edit to edify the minority leader for your market. Obviously, my subscriber ya. Drop subscription now like POG Media, so I be like it now. I share no for so answer so it's me. I can't wait me so about the comment section now. So it's me. I didn't come on the Afenyo Media. I was young as about 2018. Some they watching us.
Then she had filed certain petitions and so the court should wait to hear from them before the appointment.
And the e-levy case, the e-levy case. What is the final determination of the Supreme Court on it? Before it was implemented, and we were paying. Who was Afenyo marking in Parliament at that time? There are so many of these cases that have been pending, and things have happened, and people have moved on, and so pending cases
cannot affect
these
decisions like that
at all. He knows better than that. I'm saying that there have been several cases pending. I took Soyine has a case pending for close to 10 years now, involving ratification of mining leases. That case has never been called from any year up to now. And his point is that there are some mining leases which have not received parliamentary ratification, and the Supreme Court has determined that without parliamentary ratification, you don't have a mining lease. Those companies are still mining very well. Does he know that? And a case that has been thrown out already several times. We must wait because the position of Chief Justice is a personal one for the person who thinks they are better suited for it, and for those who think they will benefit from it, that position. It's clearly everything I didn't think was right. It was not fair to the Ghanaian public at all.
You mentioned in the beginning that you have never really been a fan of the vetting process, yes. But this one in particular had reached an all-time low.
Absolutely.
What is the process supposed to be like?
Now, if the process is supposed to judge the competence or otherwise of the person to occupy a position, you find that there are all types of questions that do not relate to what the person is coming to do.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Are you a Catholic?
A staunch Catholic.
Ah. Okay. Do you have a firm belief in the rosary, the power of the rosary?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have one here. Yes, please.
You brought your rosary?
Yes, please.
Are you familiar with St. Francis of Assisi's prayer? Do you pay your tithe in the church? They have your records of tithe
My
payment?
dues, yes, please.
You, regularly?
Yes, please.
So who is the parish priest there?
You are talking about the Chief Justice, who mainly performs administrative duties. The reason I will side with this Chief Justice, or I will have voted for him, is because he has spent a number of years on that bench, right from the lowest level to the highest level. He has seen the administrative problems.
I've been a justice of the Supreme Court since 11th of June 2008. So 17 years plus I've been a Supreme Court judge. Before the 11th of June, for 2 years I was a Justice of the Court of Appeal. Before then, I was 6 years as a High Court judge and 7 years as a Circuit Court judge. If you look at my CV and if you follow the trajectory of my career, I was actually I actually was made a Circuit Court judge by Chairman Rollins. Then I was promoted in 2000, and I was sworn in together with Sergio Jamefe. I was sworn in by the then Vice President, President Mills. Then I was elevated to the Court of Appeal by President Akuffo. Then to the Supreme Court by President Akuffo. So if, that was 2008. So if 17 years later, another president deems it fit to eliminate me to the position of a Chief Justice, I think I cut across all political boundaries. I don't think that, I think I'll be a reason for people to say that, oh, this man is deserving of the position. Because from Rollins, Mills, Akuffo, and then Mahama, I think I deserve the position, that's why.
He can say he was a driver's mate, or he can say he was in a subordinate position and couldn't influence them. He has at least a year right now to show us signs that with all of that wealth of experience, he's been able to set in motion certain things that people can benefit from. The removed Chief Justice came with all types of policies that she alone could boast about in respect of their success. Oh, there are clear-cut rules that say, when you file a process, the next stage is this, and the next stage is this, and the next stage is this. She comes to say, look, there are new rules. This case will be fixed for hearing only after certain steps, ignoring the clear-cut, the rules made by Parliament. She had power to ignore them because she says, I'm implementing reforms. What did it result into? Simple applications for 6 months in the Court of Appeal and in the Supreme Court. You wouldn't get them heard or fixed for hearing. Oh, Adenta Court will sit morning and afternoon. For what? How many? Somebody should show me. I wrote against it, first of all. Somebody should tell me what it achieved. It only disorganized people's lives. Because you wake up in the morning and then your case is in the afternoon. In the afternoon, it's not even started. You go in the morning. The morning, which knows that it has to close by 12 or 1 in order for a new one to come. 10 o'clock, the person hasn't started. Hasn't started to deal with any case. So the process was not really geared towards new Chief Justice. People are complaining about justice delivery. People are complaining about adjournment of cases and all of that. Tell us practically what the issues have been. Tell us exactly how we can tackle these problems. Because when I started practice, judges were writing in longhand. They were very effective. Their cases moved faster than today when judges don't have to write. They say things are electronically recorded. A motion for joinder takes you 2-3 months. Something that in those days,
they were writing in fast longhand,
and I'm saying
things were moving.
Oh yes.
Wow.
I'm saying in those days, before you even got up to move a motion, The judge knew the basic principles, had read it, and the lawyer needed only to focus on specific issues that would sway the judge's mind one way or the other. On some occasions, joinder, injunction, stay of execution. These are things that judges would dispose of in those days very easily. 6 months, a lot of them, they are still sitting down there. Those are the things I expected to hear the Chief Justice respond to. Are you even aware of them? How many lawyers have you spoken to in connection with the justice delivery system, and to tell us what their frustrations are? Have you received any petitions? What are they in respect of? What do Ghanaians want to see in the justice system? He must have seen some all through these years. Let's have a practical interaction so that we can hold the Chief Justice to some of the things that he says. You know, but we are all over the place. You are vetting somebody for the position of Attorney General, and he has to dance Agbaja.
The Agbaja dance, do you know how to dance it?
We dance in my side of the Volta region. We do not dance Agbaja. We dance a couple of them. We have Akpi. Do you know Akpi? Then we have Bobobo. I believe you know Bobobo.
So, honorable nominee, we are here to learn about our country. Kindly demonstrate the Akpi dance a bit, just for a second.
Honorable nominee, the question is overruled. You are not going to demonstrate.
To show that he can be Attorney General. He's had to Minister for Culture.
Yeah. So basically, it's not just the CJ vetting that you have a problem with. The whole vetting as a.
I think they should look at this whole idea of prior approval. That the Constitution didn't say vetting. It said prior approval of Parliament. There ought to be another way of, when they look at your CV and they've done your background checks, if they are calling you for any vetting, then there are specific areas they want you to clarify. Otherwise, Parliament should do an acclamation and you go. And then if you go and you can't deliver, your appointer is there, he will sack you. Yeah. But they keep all of us glued to television. And we are sitting down there and watching a process that 95% of is a joke.
Did you have the benefit of any secondary source of income?
Mr. Chairman, I'm married to a very industrious woman.
No, I don't get it. Please explain.
I'm married to an industrious woman.
Okay, so please explain to us. If you say you are married to an industrious woman, and that is the source of your secondary income, what exactly do you mean?
I mean, my wife takes care of me.
Very well.
It is.
Yeah, and
it
so
it is. Really?
and then you are going for vetting, and your village people will come, and the party people will come.
Yeah.
And then what is that for? Is it a popularity contest? You know, there's no sanctity and respect even given to the whole thing. I don't want to be going for a vetting and a group of people are following me and all that. Pray for me. Support me with ideas. That will make it more worthwhile. But you realize that it's all a thing. Oh, are you coming for the vetting of your...
Medase so kame huna ebo edira jumedi manasi di jumedi ni say POG Media de bano Ghana authentic political stories and updates and as headlines are POG Media so panel sabetimi akabina so hu de echo and the bani na e wo man Ghana political space na message so subscribers to POG Media and the any obo kwa so abejo subscription na wa share no for so answer so etimi akajumedi ani bi na so hu de echo and the betimi so abo edira the comment section on where the come e fajumedi